Welcome, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another video. I hope you guys are feeling good. I am glad to be back with another video, and in today's video I'll be giving you my preview on tomorrow's game. Now we'll be facing Dynamo Zagreb. This is the only team that has been able to beat us in our group, but fortunately for us, we're on top of this group and we have qualified for the final 16. Now the draw will be happening on November 7th, but at the same time we cannot just throw away this game. As much as I feel like this will be more of a freestyle game, this will be a game where we'll be experimenting a lot. I mean, Chelsea's full of experiments here and there every time. I will be expecting to see the players standing up and at the same time still showing up. We will not just throw away this game because we have qualified. Although we have qualified, we will still put on our best foot forward. In terms of the women's club, great news coming from their side. I mean, in terms of the Champions League, the last game against Vlasnia, 8-0 whooping. Chelsea is also leading in terms of the Champions League in the women's side, so the team is flourishing. In terms of the Premier League, now this is a whole different story, and of course our next opponent is Arsenal. Arsenal is flying, they're flourishing, they're leading, and they don't look like they're stopping anytime soon. Is it too soon to speak? Let's see how the season goes. Of course, our next 5 fixtures before the World Cup starts are a bit tough, and I have to say we'll definitely not be having a lot of breathing space in between, but let's just say, we know how we do it at Chelsea, and we move. We'll just have to put our best foot forward again and do our best and be able to maneuver with what we have. In terms of the Chelsea news, I'll be telling you who was able to train today and who was not able to. In terms of the academy boys, some of them were able to join in training, so I'll be telling you a bit on that a bit later. But before I continue, if you're new to the channel and you just stumbled upon this video, this is a Chelsea fan channel where we deal on all things football, but most importantly, we are Chelsea fans. If you're new here and you like what you see, please consider subscribing, like the video, and share it with your family and friends. It really does help me a lot. Without wasting any more time, let's jump into some Chelsea news. Now we start with the men's squad. So many things have been happening, but first and foremost, who is out? The conference is set to be happening 2 p.m. UK time, but I was just like, you know what? Because this is a game that we feel like this is a game we have already qualified for. I feel like it's gonna be a more of a freestyle game, and I feel like in terms of the players that will be given a chance to play will probably be some youngsters, some players who have not been getting a lot of game time, a lot of new faces I would like to expect to see in tomorrow's game. Other than that, in terms of the players who are able to join training, some players were missing out. In terms of the long-term players that we know are out, including N'Golo Kante, Wesley Fofana, and Reece James. Now the latter two were able to go to Dubai for their rehabilitation with one of the medical supervisors from Chelsea, which is #chilling Dubai. Well, Habibi, welcome to Dubai. That's just by the way. In terms of the players who are out, Kepa is out. I mean, he was brought out of the last game against Brighton. We'll not be discussing Brighton, but in terms of Kepa, he's out, and Kovacic was also out. But in terms of players who were able to come back, we had Koulibaly in training, so it's good to have Koulibaly back. Might he be starting tomorrow? Let's wait and see. I mean, we do not have so many vast players in terms of the defense. I mean, the players can only play so much, and with so many games coming in, there's only so much we can do. This is why I had a bit of trouble in terms of predicting my players who will be playing tomorrow, and I'd like your help with that. So tell me in the comment section down below, who do you think will be our starting 11 in tomorrow's game? Do you think we should be giving the players who have been playing the same chance to play again, or do you think we should rest some players and give some new faces an opportunity? Because this, as I said, we have already qualified. In terms of some new players who were introduced into training were some of the academy players, including Eddie Bitch, who is the goalkeeper. The 18-year-old goalkeeper was able to join training. Then we also had Dion Rankin. We also had Lewis Hall, a player who was shown his talents one too many times in terms of how he was given an opportunity to play when he was under Thomas Tuchel. And also we have Zach Sturridge. Who are all able to join training. So might we be seeing some young players tomorrow? I don't know. Tell me in the comment section down below how you feel about that. Now, in terms of some Chelsea news, I have to talk about this. Now, Mr. Kinsella had something to say about Lukaku. Now, I'll just read it out for you. Chelsea are ready to sell Lukaku in Chelsea are ready to sell Lukaku and hope that a good World Cup can boost his transfer value ahead of a permanent exit next summer. Lukaku isn't keen on returning to Stamford Bridge despite Thomas Tuchel's departure. Now, I mean, we all know that apology was obviously a stunt, and his heart was just not in the right place. Perhaps this is for the best, and if the value actually goes up or it doesn't, I mean, let's just let him go. He's comfortable where he is. We as Chelsea are doing well without him, and I wouldn't want a player whose heart is not in Chelsea being in Chelsea. Let him be given the chance to go, and if he wants to go, so be it. So that's just by the way in terms of Lukaku. I thought I should mention it. Now, in terms of the preview tomorrow, who am I expecting to see? Now, the only sure players that I will be expecting to see on the pitch tomorrow are Mendy. Mendy will definitely be in goal. Now, of course, Amanda Broja was escorting Graham Potter in terms of the press conference, so I'll assume he'll probably be getting a bit of game time. Might we see the likes of Ziyech? Conor Gallagher was phenomenal in the last game. I'll definitely be expecting to see Conor Gallagher. Now, in terms of Chukwuemeka, had individual training, so it's safe to say that he will be rolled out. Then in terms of Zakaria, might Zakaria be getting some minutes under his belt? Tell me in the comment section down below who you think will start tomorrow. I am honestly not sure. Honestly not sure, because in terms of Graham Potter, he literally can start any player anywhere. In terms of Raheem Sterling, he did a Premier League interview where he mentioned that in terms of Graham Potter, he rotates the player everywhere and he literally can start any player anywhere. So in terms of Sterling, he said he prefers to play swing, but in terms of Graham Potter, he's always rotating the player, and we've seen this a lot with different players. But of course, some mistakes were made in the Brighton game. Trevor Chalobah, an own goal. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, an own goal. These two players will probably start tomorrow, but I know. It was painful. It was painful, guys. It was painful. The two own goals against Brighton was just guys. But I will not be surprised if I see them starting tomorrow. I'm giving you guys this opportunity. Please tell me in the comment section down below who do you think will be starting in tomorrow's game. And in terms of my score prediction, guys, Zagreb actually are the only team Zagreb is the only team that have been able to beat us. So we'll definitely be trying to prove a point, if anything, just for the sake of it. As much as we'll be freestyling it, as much as we'll be trying to experiment it, we should still try and win this game. If it's by 1-0, 2-0, I don't care. Let us win this game. In terms of my score prediction tomorrow, a 1-0 will be okay for me. I do not expect too much from the players. Of course, we've already qualified for the final 16. The draw is happening on November 7th on Monday, so let's see what happens. Tell me your score prediction in the comment section down below. Now let us move to the women's side of the squad. Now in terms of women's team, they have been prospering. Of course, in terms of the Super League table, they are currently third. Of course, Arsenal are on top, and Arsenal this season, yo, Arsenal, and I think also Man City are ahead of us. But in terms of the Champions League, in our Group A, we are currently leading. We're in the same group as Vlasnia, we're in the same group as Real Madrid, and we're in the same group as PSG. So in terms of this group, we're doing really great. In terms of the last year, I mean, we got to the final, and the Barcelona firms just destroyed us. They're also leading in their group, but we're currently at the same points. In terms of our last game against Vlasnia, they absolutely destroyed them with an 8-0 win, and it was great. But the most recent game in terms of the women's club was against Aston Villa, and we were able to get a 3-1 win with two great goals from Lauren James, and a final goal just to, put a cherry on top from Samantha Kerr, and there was a goal from Aston Villa by Dali. But in terms of the women's team, they're doing really great. In terms of the next few games, they'll be having Manchester United, they'll be having Tottenham, then Real Madrid, then Leicester, then again Real Madrid. So one will be home, the other will be away, or vice versa. To be confirmed, to be determined. But in terms of the women's team, I'm really excited to see how the games goes. Of course, in terms of Chelsea, in terms of the men's club, the next few games again are some tough games. And as I said, other than this game tomorrow, the next few games will be tough. In terms of the Premier League, we're struggling. We are 6th. Manchester United is on top of us. only dreaming, but you know, they're saying, you know, in terms of some fans, you know, some people are saying we should give GP some time. But we did not give Thomas Tuchel the time that we gave it to Graham Potter. I mean, I'm a bit salty about that, I ain't gonna lie. But in terms of the next few matches, in terms of men's squad, we have Zagreb at home, we have Arsenal at home on Sunday, and then on Wednesday, on the 9th of November, we have Man City away. Then finally we'll be having Newcastle away on Saturday before we go for the World Cup break on 20th of November in terms of the men's squad. Now, this is where all the action moves to the female team, to the women's squad, and I am really hyped about this. I can't wait to see how the women play. Of course, some really exciting games going on, but other than that, I am expecting a good game tomorrow. If anything, let us win. Other than anything, let us win. Just to prove a point to Zagreb, you know, we're leading in the squad already, we're already qualified, but just to prove a point, you know, in the Premier League, we're not doing so well, you know, we're getting a lot of banter from the likes of Man U, but you know, when Manchester United are able to play in the Champions League, then we might have a talk, but for now, calma. Be calm. Guys, I am hoping for a good game tomorrow. Hopefully, we're able to succeed in terms of winning the game. We're already qualified, but if you're new to the channel and you like the content, please consider subscribing. Turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. Like the video too, it really helps me a lot. I will be seeing you in my next video. Up the Chels.